Hi, this is Galactic Grandmother April, and
Hi, Jamae Sansaray here. So excited.
we are continuing our conversations for multidimensional teachings of higher consciousness.
Yeah, I
And
love it.
today's subject is very important to both of us.
Yeah.
Dreams. Dreams are a great spiritual tool for personal development. Would you like to start off, Jemay?
Yeah. The dreams have been going way back. So I did a little research. Like I have my own personal guides and information that comes in what I feel like my personal experience and just path with dreams. So I've always seen them as these spiritual just another tool for us to use in this physical realm. So it's connecting to like a multi-dimensional place where
Uh-huh.
there is like in that quantum space where there's information to help us through prophetic dreams, which I've had, and we'll go over like our dreams later in the episode here, but also a connection to the divine, to guides, to information, to and messages to bring into this now to help us navigate. And so doing a little research that like dreams are still a mystery. Nobody's figured them out, by the way. So it really is your like personal experience
Yeah.
with dreams
Mhm.
and connection. But so that's why we're talking about it because we want to bring awareness to you if you haven't really thought about dreams. Like, because I have some friends that are like, oh, I don't dream, or they're just fantasy. But well, they've actually been proven that it's not just fantasy. So throughout time, there's been tribes and just other cultures that have really honored dreams. So, like in some cultures, I think it was the Egyptians, they sought out the dream interpreters to really, yeah, to make decisions in their life, even. That's how important dreams have been. And other cultures, even still today, consider that we have two bodies, the spiritual body and then the physical body. And
Oh,
so our spiritual body goes into those other realms and gathers information and spiritual connection and then brings it back to the physical body. And so it's just fascinating what I've
yeah.
seen through history. And then you have, let's see, Carl Jung, so he's pretty famous for his in like what are dreams, and pretty much it's same kind of concept with the two, the physical, spiritual. His is like bringing subconscious to conscious. And then you have Sigmund Freud. His interpretation is that we have unsettled or deep issues that are or suppressed around sexuality with the sexual repression. I don't know if I really agree with his. I think it's much bigger. Yeah, so it's really fascinating that dream time. But I really go towards there's actually a my dad is in it actually. It's called Eckankar. And
Oh,
so I
yes.
really
Yes.
yeah. So I really resonate with their interpretation with dreams, which is what I've tuned in with, is that it really is connecting to the higher powers and serving as a channel for like guidance, spiritual lessons, healing, and experiencing of divine love and grace, which I've experienced in some of my dreams too. So definitely so complex with what dreaming
Right.
is. And then they also emphasize that dreams are deeply personal and subjective, with
Mhm.
symbols carrying individual significance tied to one's spiritual journey. So I'm just reading a little bit. But we have, it's called the waking dream. So really, the real reality is in the dream world, in that other realm, in the multidimensional. And then this is just called the waking dream, that we're in these bodies and having a waking dream experience.
The way I've always thought about it is when we lie down, our body falls asleep to get the rest that it needs. our consciousness slips out of the body through the crown chakra, up our soul stream into higher densities of
Mhm.
consciousness. And we can be doing almost anything, like you said, as individual as everyone is. I know
Right.
there are a lot of cases where light workers or spiritual workers have gone to when there's been a large natural disaster or man-made disaster, and a lot of souls have passed over. Some of us have gone to help them with the transition because it's so traumatic and sudden. There's other times when, of course, we have our prophetic dreams, which we'll
Yeah.
talk about. You know, we can go exploring, we can
Hmm.
go astral traveling in our
Yeah.
etheric bodies. We can attend schools, which a
Hmm.
lot of us do. We can go visit with loved ones. I know there's a lot of just as many experiences that we have here on in this frequency, in this density. There's so
Hmm.
much more available to us in our higher multidimensional consciousness. So
Totally.
that was just some of the dreamtime things I was thinking about when you were talking.
But yeah, super powerful. Yeah, the out of body. I've only experienced that once where I was consciously knew I
Hmm.
was out of my body
Hmm.
and then looking at my body. So
Right,
I'm not what like some people are really good at that, like jumping
right.
out, like doing the astro travel and then knowing, but
Hmm.
that's not my thing. But I did it once on accident. And I've tried to meditate and do it. Maybe I haven't been focusing. Anyways, I did it once and I laid down to take a nap. I was sleeping, but I also was aware of me going out of my body and then also that the cord that is connected that people talk about so that
Hmm.
that tethers you to your body. So I saw that, but in that realm and being conscious of that, it was so windy and the
Really?
wind, yeah, and so the room I was when the window was open and it was just like windy and I was like getting it was like whoa, and then I kind of went out of the window and then I was like this is wild and all of a sudden I snapped back into my body and I like came, really woke up and then it was just calm as can be. So it can be different in those different realms too,
Mhm.
apparently.
Yeah,
That's like, yeah, so that was an out of body. And then you have the lucid dreaming,
right.
which is amazing. So I had to experience several times lucid dreaming, but the one that is really powerful, and I hear other moms have this experience as well. I'm a napper. So I so like I'm gonna go take like a quick nap. And I went into this very light sleep, like a lucid dream, and my daughter and son came to visit me, and I was conscious of this whole experience. It felt like I literally was in another dimensional space. And
Can I ask you a question?
yeah,
Have you given birth to your
no,
children yet? Oh,
no,
okay.
no, no.
Yeah.
This is years before.
Mhm.
So I was
Yeah.
only 22 or 23.
Hmm.
And so they sat me down and my daughter was about 5 and my son was about 3 and she was like, "So, we're your kids and you are going to have kids by the way, but because I was planning on no kids, no marriage, like I must have known it was going to be really hard." So, but she's like, "No, no, we have an agreement. We're coming in. We're going to be your kids, and the guy you're with right now will not be our dad." And it was so wild. So I woke up. I was like, "Holy moly, that was weird." Forgot all about it until 22 to 3 to like 8 years later with my husband now. So I got married when I was like 26 and then we got pregnant when I was 29. And then I still didn't think about the vision or the lucid dream that I had until, gosh, probably when she was about 2 or 3. And then my second child was born, which was my son. The funny thing is, so I was like, whoa, I had that dream. That's weird. I wonder if this is them. Well, when they were the ages of 5 and 3, like I mentioned, their dad and I divorced, but they looked exactly like they did in the vision. They looked exactly the age that when it was a significant time, probably that their dad and I divorced. But that is like the lucid dream that stands out.
And now that's like my dreams, which there's kind of a crossover between lucid dreaming and prophetic dreaming. Because in my real prophetic dreams, it's
Hmm.
I am conscious like a lucid dream. And very often my a guide or someone will be beside me telling me things.
Yeah.
But when it came to my children, I was 18 and I was shown in a so-called dream, a prophetic dream, I'd have my daughter first and then my son. And I had my daughter when I was 28. And then 9 years later, with the second husband, whom we had decided not to have children, he
Uh,
didn't want children. So I had said, that's okay. I have my daughter. But
yeah.
we were traveling on vacation and he had taken the dog for a walk, and I was by myself in the RV. And spirit came on me really, really strong, just opened my heart up and asked me, do you want to have your son? And I
Oh
knew
my God.
that on one hand, I made an agreement with my husband, but on the other hand, I wanted that baby boy. And I was conflicted and cried, but then I said, yes, I do want my boy.
Wow.
So when the husband came back, I explained to him what happened.
Uh,
And within a month,
yeah.
now, mind you, I was so regular, we never needed to use any kind of birth control, but natural birth control, because that we
Yeah.
always knew when I was ovulating. But within a month, I ovulated twice and got pregnant.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
wow. Oh, I
yeah.
love it.
So I
Yeah.
had my kids 10 years apart, but that
Wow.
was, yeah, that's like, so
So
the
cool.
prophetic and
Yeah, so maybe
lucid
mine's not
dreams.
so lucid. It felt like a lucid dream, but I guess also was falls into maybe prophetic also, which I've had several prophetic dreams, and they're not big deal. They're not like some life-changing information. It just shows me like I'll dream something in the next day, and on occasion it's exactly how
Mhm.
it looks. Like my very first experience with that is I had a dream. I was walking my daughter and I look over and there's a garage door that's open a few feet and I look in and there's tidy cat litter. And this is in the dream. And so forget that I dreamt that. And so the next day I'm walking her and I look over and there's the exact dream. I was like, whoa.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
My granddaughter's had a couple of dreams like that where she'll dream that there's going to be a pop quiz in math, and then it'll happen just exactly with teacher saying the words and everything that she dreamed
Wow.
about. Talking about symbolism, prophetic, and lucid dreaming kind of all coming together. In 2001, I had a dream, but it was like I was conscious and I had my higher self or my guide with me, taking me on a helicopter ride over Manhattan. And I mean, they were telling me the street names and showing me a flood of water, which for me it is symbolic for emotion. And it
Yeah.
was a flood of water that was just going over Manhattan, the whole tip of the island. And come to find out, that was symbolic for 9/11
Oh, wow.
and
Yeah, the
the
year goes
and
on.
the
Yeah.
huge flooding on Manhattan was the horrible traumatic emotional experiences that happened there, you know.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so you were tapping into that timeline in that prophetic. So, and that's where what I feel like those prophetic dreams are because there is no time. And
Right.
things are happening, have happened, are happening. So
Will happen.
will
Yeah.
happen. And so our second, like some cultures were like there's two bodies. So this our spiritual goes into those realms
Mhm.
and can see what's going to be happening on that timeline. Yeah, interesting. Wow.
And
That's a big one.
I'll give another example about, and this happened to my mother too. My mother had dreamed about past lives, future lives, And in one life, in this current life, she dreamt that her mother died.
Mm.
And it turned out to be it was her father that was killed in a trucking accident. So
Wow.
then in my life, I had a dream where I was told that my mother died and she was going to die in 3 to 5 weeks.
Oh,
And it turned out it was my father that died during that time period.
wow.
And I think that the reason why I thought it was my mother was because my mother was an unhealthy child through adulthood. Everyone thought she would pass first. And so I think that's another thing that when our consciousness comes down into the body, we
Mhm.
wake up the next morning and our human brain is trying to interpret information that we've
Mhm.
received on the other side. And
Yeah,
in my human brain, I thought, oh, it must be mom that's going to die.
you're right. Yeah. No, that's exactly, I've had those experiences too. And the best way to decipher is not try to go into the details because then
Mhm.
then I start going, oh man, trying to think about the details, but more of the feeling. Like
Oh,
how did you feel in that dream?
mhm.
Yeah, so you got the message. Yeah, well, and that's the thing too. So in those realms, it looks most of the time different. So it's not exact. So like the experience with the cat litter, that was like that's it like maybe two times it's happened where it's exact, but that's it. The other prophetic dreams looks completely different and you kind of do have to decipher
Mhm.
code like mom, dad. So it's deciphering what is the message and what to do with it. What's the deeper
Mhm.
meaning around that? Like what's the purpose of the messages for the experience for the person that's dreaming it, like for your experience with the 9/11.
I don't know what the personal message would be as far as
Mhm,
that goes, but I know as far as dreaming about my mother passing, and it
mhm.
turned out to be my father, and I was given a timeline of 3 to 5 weeks. I think they just wanted me to be prepared. Do you remember as a child flying around a
Oh yeah,
lot during your dreams?
I flew all the time and I hear other
Right,
people have this experience too, and now I not flown
right,
forever.
right.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember as
lots
a
of flying.
child,
Mm-hmm.
that was the big, I would go to sleep and I'd just be flying all over the place, outer
Yeah,
space, just
yeah.
everywhere.
Everywhere. Me too. Yeah, different planets. I would fly over trees. Like, yeah, I had them all the time. And so that's so interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I got a hit when I was asking you about the water and the helicopter. So that
Uh-huh.
because we are multidimensional even now, so we have other cells that are working in the dimensional spaces. But like your name, grandmother, like you have this love for the whole collective or the
Right.
whole, so I actually saw that just giving you that message through the dream it grounded you to hold space for
Oh.
the tragedy that was happening.
Hmm.
So yeah, I just got goosebumps on that because
Cool.
you held that space in your heart because that's who you really are. And so that was the message for self was to remember that's like your gift is holding that beautiful, loving space for others in that time. Yeah. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, I have so many. I have so many dreams. Always dreaming into the next day. So I see those as like prophetic that we were just talking about. Mine are just small, but just to go, oh, awesome. Like I've been here before, or those deja vus,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
those are always magical to me. Those are like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm connected to something higher than just this physical realm. Because
Right.
it's an unseen. It's like information coming in, just little things. It's just guidance to let you know we're connected to something bigger.
Right.
Uh,
We're
yeah.
multidimensional.
And yes,
Yeah.
exactly. We are definitely multidimensional. Other dream types are to help clear out emotions also, the ones that don't serve us. So really a lot like fear. So I know when I have,
Anxiety, things
yeah,
that are
anxiety.
bothering you.
Exactly. So in those cases, like if I'm going through a more stressful time in my life, I'll notice that my dreams, and then we're getting into that realm where entities can come in and kind of mess with you. So I've had those too, which luckily that doesn't scare me in those realms. So always in the dream, like my most recent one, it was a couple months ago that I was going through a stressful just stage. And so I was in the house, and it's always, of course, it's like mama bear, protect the kids. And so
Yeah.
so that's like the fear trying to always heal that or clear that. But I think every mom has that, just the the mama bear protection.
Mhm.
Yeah, so in the dream, so if I'm trying to clear out fear of something else, then but it gets shown through trying to protect my kids. I wasn't worried about my kids in the reality, but I was just having a
Right.
stressful times. But in the dream, it was showing me what I needed to not have fear over. So I was in a house, I was with my kids, and a dark kind of being I had to run over to the front door and lock it.
Oh,
And I'm like, quick, just stay back, you guys. And then I ran over to the front door and locked it. And the being was on the other side. And it was like, Jamae, open the door. Come on, it's okay. You know,
oh,
yeah. I was like, and I hardly ever have dreams like this. So this is a little, this is like kind of a little, and I feel for people that have actually nightmares.
right.
But anyway, so I knew what this dream meant, but I always like, I also was fierce in the dream. I'm like, you're not welcome here. You need to leave, basically. And it did. It like I could feel it just leave out of the dream. And then I woke up. So I feel like we're processing,
Mhm.
clearing out on deep levels that we might not even be aware of. Stresses, fears, yeah, traumas. And that's
And
where maybe some of the when people have nightmares.
yes.
Yeah.
And like what we were talking about earlier, that lately I've had a lot of dreams, just regular life dreams. Like I'll wake
Yeah.
up or I'll be waking up and I'm thinking, why the heck was I dreaming about this? It was like I was living my life with
Yeah.
people I know for the most part
Yeah.
somewhere else. And then I was waking up and I asked my higher self, what's going on? Why am I having all these just kind of mundane everyday dreams?
Okay. Yeah.
And I was told that I was collapsing timelines, like parallel realities,
Oh, cool.
to bring it back into the original
Yeah. Original.
organic timeline.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. So, and that's probably what we're all doing through the process, through the dreams. Also, there's loved ones too. My grandmother, she was 104, passed last year. But I kept asking, I'm like, when can I see you? Come visit me, come to me, please, in a dream. And she finally did. Her and I were walking, but it was so beautiful. I'm like, I just wanted to be there forever. Like I did not want to leave. There, I saw other beings helping people that have passed heal. So I saw some people with their hands on them and then my grandma, she was just loving it there too. We were just walking on this beautiful path and just having a conversation. And then this huge golden eagle came around. Like we were little compared to, but it was like a teenage eagle, all
Wow,
golden, and it knew us, and it was so excited like to see us, and then it spoke, and I was like, God, I wish I remembered what it said, and I can't, but I because I don't write stuff down, so but it's good to keep a dream journal. um
definitely.
yeah. And so it said something. I was like, oh, that's amazing. You remember, what I taught you. So I don't know. So, yeah, so I was teaching, I taught this golden eagle some words, but I'm like, it should have been the other way around. It taught me. Anyways, that was, I've had several dreams. That's just one of like loved ones, visiting with
Mhm.
loved ones. Yeah.
Yes. very often I'll be on the other side with like a family gathering and get to see my parents and grandmother and other people. There was one significant other that passed that I had a relationship with. And about a month after he died, I fell asleep and I got to see him. I considered it more of an out of body experience because everything I experienced, I remembered crystal clear.
Oh,
Sometimes in
cool.
dreams, you just don't bring it back as
Yeah, yeah.
clearly. And
Yeah.
it was just being able to see, he was showing me where he was living. And it
Mm.
was just gorgeous and clean. It looked like a 5D San Francisco overlooking the bay. And it was just so neat. And I got to give him a hug and just spent time with him. And after that, when I woke up, I felt so at peace and my real healing process began. I just felt fine. It's like, okay, he's
Yeah.
off doing his thing and he's doing great.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's really beautiful. That tells you that that's real.
Hmm.
I those realms are real. So you're being shown like, hey, everything's okay. There really is no death.
Right.
And it's when we lose our loved ones that's in these bodies and there's a grieving that happens. But then
Hmm.
there can be joy too of knowing that we can still communicate with them in the other multidimensional space. And there's beauty in those other dimensional spaces. And it's important to sleep also, just on that out, because we give the body a rest,
Hmm.
which truly, which does strengthen our connection with divine and higher
Right.
self. And
Right.
so it's just overall really important to sleep. And I feel so bad for so many people out there that have issues sleeping.
Hmm.
That's like the majority of people that
Hmm.
I'm finding or notice throughout the years of like, oh, I'm not sleeping. I'm like, I just couldn't. I don't know what I'd do because I love sleeping. I'm like, I probably because I like that realm better. So that's like,
And, and you know what? Sometimes I'm really tired and I'll go to bed
hmm
planning on sleeping and then I'm start getting all kinds of downloads and shown stuff
yeah,
and it just is like almost repetitive sometimes. And finally I'll just say, my body needs to sleep. We're
yeah,
shutting this down. It's time to
yeah.
let this body rest.
Good. And that's important to really stop the chatter, stop the downloads, stop the brain from talking or your higher self or guy. It's like, nope,
Hmm.
just let me sleep. And then there's great herbal
Hmm.
herbs that you can take to get better night's sleep as well, which relaxes the nervous system, calms down that overactive activity. So there's some great herbs out there that help with sleep. That's just assisting, but it's really being at peace within and clearing out the stress, clearing out daily the fears, the traumas, all of the inner work. So you get to a really nice centered place. Yeah.
What do you think about? There's a lot of people that do take drugs, recreational or prescription, or drink to fall asleep. And I know that you might make yourself, when you slip out of the body, susceptible to
hmm
attracting certain low frequency entities.
Oh yeah, that's my personal just observation with any kind of and just asking my guides. So being able to read energy, which I've been able to do my whole life, so I can read energy really well and can interpret dreams too when I'm in that space in a
Uh-huh.
session. So, in these new times that we're in this ascension, the Great Awakening, whatever you want to call it, we are. We're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. No, yeah, so we're not in the same timeline. So we're in a higher frequency, we're in a higher consciousness. We're all moving there, and or we're trying the best that we can ground it in any kind of altering alcohol, drugs, even the so-called good ones, I feel are disruptive to the energy field, like the ceremonies to get more, which I think you've said you've done, like ayahuasca or
No, never have.
no, I haven't either. Or even marijuana, people say that's healing. I don't think anything at this point is healing in the frequency that we're in, except for
Mhm.
your own clearing, your own connection to your God creator source,
Right,
because those other things can all, yeah, mess with the energy field and drop you
right.
into the 3D timeline. So, but that's my own personal. But if I have no judgment, like, and I'm happy that people say that it works, so that some experiences, like, oh no, I had the most profound experience doing that ceremony. And I'm like, awesome. But what I've been shown is
Mhm.
it's not needed. And
Right,
that's where we're at. We are the medicine.
right.
We
And
are the our consciousness is everything that has been a tool to get us to the next level. Well, we are at the next level.
right.
So,
And I think we're lucky in the from the standpoint that we've both left our body. I mean, I've left it a couple of times when I was 9, had a really bad ear infection, and I went to bed and woke up on the ceiling looking down at my little body sleeping.
wow,
Another time when I was 21, I left my body and looked down and saw myself sleeping.
wow.
So just having that experience, you know that you leave your body with all of your consciousness of who you are intact,
Yeah,
and you don't lose anything when you do leave this body.
yeah,
And just like
yeah,
when we leave it while the body sleeps, I think we just become even more of what we know ourselves to be.
yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Because that's really, I think, um, my guess is that's where we're really from.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm here to, well, we have a big mission is to bring it back into balance from darkness and
Hmm.
from the entities that we kind of touched on. But I really feel we're here to bring something that went way out of balance of the dual, the dark, the light. Well, it's way too dark. So we came back and we're bringing it back into balance. But we also came here to experience.
Many conversations I've had with friends and family about they feel like they don't know what their mission is and
Oh, yeah.
all this kind of stuff. And I always tell them, you may not be on social media talking like we are,
Yeah.
but the most important thing is that you're anchoring all of these high frequency energies. You're living your life experiencing love and joy and happiness. You're compassionate, you have empathy, and you
Mhm.
just affect energetically everyone you come in contact with.
Mhm.
That's the number one most important job right there.
It is 100% because that, well, and to bring it back into balance is to truly be in our heart
Mhm.
space.
Right.
Honor, love, have no judgment, and just be super aligned with our higher self, God creator source, which is love. And so
Right.
uh, we're grounding that in. So that's, yeah, beautiful. And like I have a dream that helps me remember that mission.
Do
So,
you
and I
have, is it a repetitive dream?
nope, I just had it once and I wish that I would have it again because it felt so real and it just was the most love I'd ever feel. Like I felt home like that. So that to me, love is the feeling of home. I think I may have told you I was a baby whale and I was swimming with mama whale and we were just cruising through the ocean and it was just so much love. Like I was like, oh, I'm home. And so I always tap into that dream to remember that,
Oh, that's
yeah.
wonderful because just from an energy standpoint, that makes so much sense because nature, Mother Earth, the
Mhm.
water, the whales frequency must have just been off the chart.
It was because, and I long to go back there. So, like, are
I
we
should I should
done
play
here
some
yet?
whale. I should play some whale
Not
music.
you and I, but here on planet Earth.
Yeah. Some dreams are just profound, and they may not have any much happening, but I remember when I first moved out when I was 22, and
Mm.
I had this dream. It was the first time living in my home all by myself, and
Mm.
I suddenly found myself in outer space standing on a planet. And I
Oh,
remember just looking around thinking, this is really strange. Standing,
love
just
that.
looking out. The planet itself was barren, just looked like the moon. But I knew as I was looking around me into outer space, it was quite an experience.
That is, I've had that a couple of those dreams actually. Dreams on, yeah, other planets or flying. One was I knew I was on another planet and I was walking and it felt really cool to be there. Like, oh, this is a great place. And then I walked up to this bench and there was like all these beautiful crystals. And then another one, I was with a bunch of people and I knew I was on another planet. And
Mhm.
we were in these like maybe classrooms or and it wasn't our living spaces, but we were in these dome pond. We and all of us we walked outside and then looked at the sky and there was all these there was grid lines on the sky. So this was
Ooh,
years ago. Since I've heard that there are grid lines in our in this reality. So I thought that was interesting. But I felt like I
yeah.
knew that I was on another in another dimensional space is what I'll say. But it felt good too. We were
Mhm.
like you had mentioned too, we can go to school. And so
Right.
I felt like I was learning and I've had other school learnings too. So my guides came and got me and I was dreaming. I was sleeping and dreaming, but they took me to it must have been like the Akashic Records or there was like it was just all white light and but it was a healing place also. But it was like I got all the information all at once. So they were showing me and teaching me. And
Yeah.
another one, I was on another planet and but we were in a classroom and someone was up front teaching us all about spirituality, but we were little. I
Cool.
was like a little person with all these other little people. And then the person teaching us was like a giant, but a
Oh,
really loving.
that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Dreams. They're so cool.
When I was like 31, I remember, and it was very, very important year of my life.
Mm,
I remember dreaming that I went before this big council and they were like seated and up
okay.
higher in front of me, and they were telling me the secrets of life. They were
Oh,
telling me all about my life, everything I wanted to know about life. And it was like I got all the answers. And then I
wow.
woke up and I didn't remember a thing.
I hate that. That's the same. Like these really amazing. I'm like, I know I'm getting so much. And you wake up and then poof, it's like, and I know a lot of you watching this probably already dream journal and have amazing dreams. So please share your dreams in the
Right,
comments. We want to hear your amazing experiences
right.
with dreams and messages.
I've
So,
I've done dream journaling before,
okay.
and it was a good tool from the standpoint of seeing if there's any repetitive symbology, if there's, which for me,
Okay.
water, like I said,
Yeah, yeah.
equates to emotions. So if I dream about tidal waves, and it usually has to do with my personal life, something coming up that's going to be very emotional.
Go to the feeling of it. Tap into what was the feeling? Because
Mhm.
I'll have feelings of like, oh, that brought joy, or oh, that brought worry, or oh,
Mhm.
that was supposed to really hone in on a message, or I felt fear, or so what was the feeling? Or discomfort. I don't know. It's there. And then so what in this realm then do I need to look at?
I think dreams are so important from the standpoint that if we pay attention, it's just another way of waking us up that there's more to our reality, our multidimensional self, than these five senses and this third dimensional existence we're in right now.
Yeah. Well, and like I said in the beginning too, our ancestors and other cultures and that go way back knew that dreams were a big part of our journey here and
Mhm.
and were really revered. also like in Egypt, I'm remembering, like, so they had priests and priestesses and they had dream temples.
Oh,
So so yeah. So you would go into the dream temple with the priestess or priest and would prepare you for the dreaming. So fasting, meditating, cleansing, and really
mm.
prepare yourself for the dream world for instant healing. So
Oh, yes.
yeah, and messages that could help bring more
Mhm.
clarity to what's going on in this waking life. The Aztecs, the Mayans, they all really understood that dreaming was important.
I did want to say sometimes when you've had a good amount of sleep, but you still wake up tired. Yes, there could be some physical reasons, but there are other reasons, like we're talking about, where you're
Yeah.
assisting souls on the other side. And that
Mhm.
can be very tiresome for you and draining when we wake up because
Oh,
we've literally been working all night.
yeah. Speaking of the physical, it is important to keep because we are in these a more toxic realm. So heavy metals, it's just important to keep all the toxins out of
Mhm.
the body that can create, well, not sleeping well or feeling a little disconnected or not dreaming, not having the dreams, not being able to remember the dreams could be needing to detox the lymph system, the kidneys, the liver, which is really important because we are getting bombarded. I think most of us know through our air, food, clothing, you name
Right.
it. There's just chemicals and toxins in everything. It's crazy. So,
And like what we work on all the time is clearing out stagnant and lower frequency energies from the literal cells of our body because
mhm,
our physical cells are intertwined with the emotional and mental bodies. And
mhm,
so we've got to get those actual physical cells cleared and healed. And that's when the higher consciousness can come down and embody our
yeah.
physical vehicle. And
Yeah.
that's when you're in constant communication with your higher consciousness, is when you get to a certain amount of embodiment.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Yep. 100%. Yeah.
So we are going to have to go into do another conversation where we really get into the lifestyles for clearing the physical vehicle for energetic higher consciousness embodiment
Yeah.
because there's a lot
That's
to
my favorite.
it.
There is.
Yeah,
Well, yeah. Well, of course, I'm a herbalist, so I love using the plants and herbs to achieve that because everything is frequency.
right.
So, like exactly what you're saying. So when we keep these temples clear and toxic free, it raises our frequency and then puts us into the frequency of health and joy and love.
And
It can be simple.
the
Yeah.
plants were put here to actually help us. Everything we need to heal is here in
It is.
nature.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about daydreaming because, as
Yeah.
creators, that daydreaming is very powerful. It's not
Totally.
just entertainment, it's
Mhm.
really part of our Christ consciousness
Mm,
creative abilities. And
totally.
we can daydream about really great things that excite us, or we
Yeah.
can daydream and worry and make up scenarios in our heads of a lower frequency. And that's something I
Mhm.
stopped doing very quickly, the whole worrying thing about
Right.
my children, because if
Yeah.
you send out negative energy about what could happen to your kids when they're off doing their thing,
Right.
it attaches to them. We
Oh,
don't want,
absolutely.
I mean, we have
Yep.
quantum entanglement in the quantum field.
Totally. Yeah.
So I just send out love and healing and protection and
That's
have a good
exactly.
time.
Yep. And I've let go of worry also. And then I do the same love, protection, and honoring their path. I honor my kids' path of what they're doing here. And it still creeps up my mama bear.
And with my son, he moved across the globe to China. He lives
Yeah.
in Beijing. And I had to realize he has his own higher self, a spiritual
Yep.
team, and
Yep.
they are in just as much in charge for him. There's not much I can do, but
Yeah.
send out good vibes and love. And
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, I have conversations with their teams.
right.
But really quick with the daydreaming. This is important. Everything that we've talked about, but it really does start with our consciousness
Right.
and what we are telling ourselves and what our belief systems are and all of that. So it really does where are we going to align our consciousness with? And it's definitely positive daydreaming because that does bring into manifestation
Mm-hmm.
into this realm. And I'm seeing it just more and more. It's happening fast. So that's why it's really important to absolutely zero negative talk. You just have to say, get the heck out of my energy. Like you no longer are needed. Send you back to light and love and immediately replace it with positive reinforcement. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
true law of attraction is the consciousness that we carry, and
Mhm.
whatever is in resonance with that consciousness is what we
Right.
will attract.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that you don't see the dark, but it means that your intentions and your focus and your energy is put on creating a beautiful reality, a beautiful timeline, because
Exactly.
that's our reality we're creating.
Totally. And it's okay if it doesn't happen right away. That's just what I've really come to realize. It really is the journey. So it's enjoying each, even if it's freaking hard. Find the meaning behind it. Find like, hey, I am gonna get through this hard time because you will, especially if you are on the journey and you're expanding your consciousness and trying to find the tools to help you, like through dreams and meditation and just be gentle with yourself also.
Right.
There's some things in my life that I'm like, okay, I continue to work on it. I continue to keep having that vision, keep having that daydream and then embodying the knowing. But I'm also okay if it doesn't manifest. So I don't have an
Well,
expectation because I understand that I have a path that I have an agreement with, maybe my higher self. And if I'm
mhm.
wanting something and it's not manifesting, then there's still something more to learn on the journey.
Things don't manifest as quickly in this density.
They just don't, yeah. And then there's no final destination, is what my guides just told me a little bit ago.
Ain't
They're
that
like,
the truth?
we shall bring some words of wisdom to you. There is no final destination. I'm like, oh, thanks, thanks. Okay. So truly embody and enjoy the journey. Well, this is fascinating too. So I've had two experiences where my oversoul spoke to me. One was in dream world. I was somewhere where I wasn't supposed to be, and I couldn't get out. I was like, this is weird. I couldn't walk up the stairs, and then my voice, it was my own voice, yelled at me and said, Janae, wake up now. And I went,
Oh,
yeah, I knew there was something bad, like in a place where it was really dark, but I was not supposed to be there. So I got lost. And then the other time was I was driving and it said, Janae, slow down, like verbal. And I slowed way. I'm like, okay, I'm only going 10 miles an hour anyways. I slowed way down to like 2 miles an hour and a car came around the corner in my lane. And if I had been going any faster, I would have head on. That's fascinating to me. Our oversoul, our higher self will intervene.
when you were talking about it, I've had many experiences where a voice will tell me something. I
Yeah.
remember I was about 14 the first time, and
Hmm.
then June 2017, I woke up with an external voice telling me, "You are a galactic grandmother." And
I love
so
that.
that's
Wow.
a whole nother story, what preceded that. But my
Yeah.
first question is, what is a galactic grandmother? Then they said, a purveyor of galactic truths. So
Mm.
I just think that a lot of us now are wanting to do whatever we can, as little as it may be, to assist others to really make that connection with
Hmm.
our own inner self, our own inner guidance, our own higher self, spiritual guides, spiritual team, whatever you want to call it. And the whole idea, the whole concept of dreams goes along with that because
Yep.
it's our consciousness.
Yeah.
Everything's consciousness and
It is.
energy.
It
And when
really
the
is.
body's sleeping, that's when we leave and we
Hmm.
go to higher frequencies.
I agree. Oh, awesome.
We never run out of things to talk
I
about, do
know.
we?
No.
Okay. Please, everyone, give us some comments.
Yeah.
Let us know what you like, what you didn't like, what you'd like to talk about. But we've got a lot more subjects that we're going to cover.
All
Love
right.
you all.
I love you. See you on the next.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.